take a look at the Bourse today. We see that it has appreciated by 0.8%, purely because it's driven by oil, confectionery and banking stock. What would you say is the outlook for it this week?
Over this week, we expect that the market will also end on a high like it ended last week. Overall, there will be a bit of profit taking in between, but we believe that we have enough information coming in that would allow this market to close on a high this week.
Well, we're hearing reports saying that Chevron has been forced to shut down about 20,000 barrels per day of crude oil production in Nigeria, and keeping in mind that the Bourse has been doing well purely because it's driven by oil as well as confectionery and banking stocks. Do you really expect this appreciation to last till Friday?
Well, the information coming about the Chevron shutting down some production capacity will affect in no little way, but we believe that this bullish run in the stock market has actually been more tiered towards the banking stocks that have, over last week we saw First Bank of Nigeria, Zenith Bank being the drivers of the bullish run in the market. So we expect that that will still be sustainable in some way, maybe not as high as last week, but we believe that that will still be sustainable in some way. Recently, we also had the renewal of the US Exim $1 billion loan guarantee to 14 banks in Nigeria, which I believe is also pushing the stocks, the banking stocks in particular, in the Nigerian stock market.
Damilola, let's just step backwards a little bit and look at last year. Nigeria was considered to be one of the worst performing bourses last year. Firstly, would you say that's true?
Yeah, well, from the figures, yeah, it was one of the worst performing stock markets in the world. That happened, coupled with the bank reforms that happened towards the end of last year. It also aggravated the stock market in Nigeria. But right now, we believe with all the reforms in place, with all the reforms that have been towards the end of last year, there are reforms in place. The asset management company that is going to be set up before end of January, pending Senate approval, would believe that that trend, as Nigeria being the worst performing stocks, should be reversed by mid-year. We should have a reversal of all that.
But what would you say is critical to the Bourse's recovery this year?
The banking stocks, that is most important. Banks need to lend. The economy as a whole, federal government needs to inject a lot of liquidity into the system. In terms of infrastructure growth and development, we need a certain definitive leadership in terms of putting things in place for Nigeria, infrastructure growth. We need a whole variety of things, but key within that is the federal government's involvement in this matter. We need injection of funds into this system.
Well, talking about leadership, Nigerian Vice President Goodluck Jonathan has taken over ceremonial duties for an ailing president. How is this affecting investor sentiments in the country right now?
It's the beginning of the year. A lot of strategies have been drawn up by companies and all that, investment companies. So it will delay in a great way, because they need to be able to plan. The recent MPC committee meeting that happened in the CBN MPC committee could not really give an outlook for inflation based on the not being able to determine where and when deregulation is going to happen, not being able to determine when and where government is going to intervene in the stock market, not being able to determine when a lot of other things are going to happen. So it is affecting investor sentiment. It is maybe the rally we've seen will have been more if the government has taken definitive steps at the beginning of the year. But we hope with the recovery of the address very soon that all this will be reversed.